Go back to Warriors pregame live, presented by Comcast Business and Jimmy Butler, according to Charania and many other sources here at Chase Center. You saw they fall late in the first quarter. Jimmy Butler did not return to game number 2 as the Warriors lost that one. Left pelvis contusion. He is out for game number 3. Now, the injury report says he's still a game-time decision, but all the sources are saying he is out tonight. So that's a massive loss for the Golden State Warriors. We know what he's done since he's arrived from South Beach, Miami. The Warriors are third in free throw attempts. They've gone on a run here and finished, of course, into the playoffs in the first round. So without Jimmy Butler, we saw what happened in game number 2. Not a lot of isolations and an unbalanced offense, Zena.
Yeah, this is going to be an opportunity for Jonathan Kuminga to come in and take advantage of some of those mismatches. Whenever the floor is spaced for the Warriors, there's some straight line drives that you want Jonathan Kuminga to have the green light to attack, because let's just be real, Houston doesn't have a great rim protector, and that's something that the Kuminga and the Warriors can take advantage of.
Mully, what are they missing with Jimmy Butler now out for game number 3?
You know, obviously, Bob, you said the isolation, inside-out play, that's probably the biggest thing. Getting to the free throw line, but establishing a player inside the paint so you can open up those three-point shots and have a better balance to your offense. But with this change, I think the Warriors will go back to more free, rhythm and flow offense, really try and pick up the pace. The Rockets have dictated style of play and pace of play. Now the Warriors are home. There's an opportunity here to really get this game up and down the floor. And as they do that, number one priority is taking care of the basketball.
Now, Zena, you brought up Jonathan Kuminga here. Game number 2 came off the bench. Obviously, Jimmy Butler got hurt. Brandon Podziemski was dealing with an illness. He was 4-12 from the floor, 11 points. A tough situation after he picked up 3 consecutive DNPs. However, good news, against the Houston Rockets this season, he has averaged 21-7 in the regular season, shooting 50%, and he's had some of his better games against the Houston Rockets this season.
You know, when I heard that Jimmy Butler was going to be out, that's why I went straight to Jonathan Kuminga. He is exactly the player that can fill in that ISO ball opportunity, take advantage of these mismatches, go and not be timid attacking the basket. This is what they're going to need. Someone that goes downhill, someone that forces the opportunity in the paint, because we know that that's been the #1 discrepancy for the Warriors. The Warriors are down 38 points over 2 games in comparison to what the Rockets can do.
Yeah, the Rockets throw out so many athletic, long forwards. Jonathan's a natural matchup there physically, and I think it is important, as Zena said, be really aggressive. But I think Jonathan needs to come in here tonight and really attack the paint first, not shoot too many threes early in the shot clock, and really play his game, play loose. This Rockets team, they're a young, inexperienced team, so it's not like every single possession is under the microscope. So I think he should come in here relaxed and let the offense come to him, focus on defensive rebounding, and really maybe take Jalen Green, one of those top offensive players, and defensively try and shut them down.
That's a really good point. Jonathan Kuminga is going to do what he's supposed to do on offense. He's got to be in good positioning on defense. He's got to be ready for the help rotations, make sure that he's in the lanes wherever he can be to utilize the athleticism that is much needed against a team like the Rockets.
And if I'm not mistaken, this will be his first ever playoff start with the Golden State Warriors. So a massive one here in game number 3. Steve Kerr earlier today touched on the physicality we've seen in the first 2 games of this series.
I think what happens in the playoffs is, teams basically just say to their guys, just foul every time. They can't call it every time. And so the playoffs become much more an art for the officials than a science. The way I've seen it in my NBA career is, the best officials, they kind of know what's coming. They know there's, it's testy, after the first game, whatever. So you clean it up right away. You call a few things right away. You warn both teams. You say stop it, and then the game settles down. And I think that's sort of the key to me when I look at all these games around the league is, are we handling stuff early? Are we taking care of things early so that a basketball game can happen? And that's what good officiating is to me.
In that same realm, what are you seeing with the way they've defended Steph in this series so far?
You don't think you're just going to bait me into
allowing you?
What are you, James Harden, trying to draw the foul right now? I'm not reaching. I'm not reaching, Anthony.
That is Steve Kerr as we go inside the Chase Center for the first time all evening, courtesy of Comcast Business. Every connection counts with the great KB, Kareth Burke, NBA champion Festus Ezeli, and our Warriors insider here at NBC Sports Bay Area, Monty
I missed it.
Monty Poole, don't worry, Zena. We can catch up on that later, but physicality and the war words, this series has turned up when it comes to the temperature, KB.
Well, I'm thinking about that hot mic that caught Ime Udoka in Game 2 telling his team, keep playing through contact, don't worry, they're not going to call anything. Okay, so if the Rockets are going to test the boundaries of the officiating crew, well, then the Warriors have to do the same. What do you think this game is going to be like, Monty?
Yeah, I mean, the Rockets have been playing this way all year. It's their style. And Steve Kerr yesterday said that he showed video of Game 2, and he said, we didn't make them feel us. They came with playoff energy. We came with regular season energy. We got to amp it up because against this team, if you don't meet their passion, don't meet their intensity, you end up on the losing end like you did in Game 2.
All right, what do you think, Festus? Do you love a physical game?
Physicality is not dirty in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It is expected. This is you're playing for your season. If you lose, you go home. And so the Rockets are throwing everything at Steph Curry, and this is not anything that he hasn't seen already. It's all a testament to Steph Curry's greatness, and it's not an indictment on Houston's defense. If you want to force the referees to call fouls, then you be the aggressors. That's the message I would say to the Golden State Warriors. If Jimmy Butler is limited or out tonight, the Warriors have depth. Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, Pods. I don't want Draymond Green to be the guy to insert his physicality tonight because you know the rest are always watching Draymond. But there's a bunch of guys on the team that can be physical. Quentin Post is another one of those guys. He's a big guy. You got to insert your physicality down low. I think physicality for the Golden State Warriors is imperative tonight. This is the playoffs, and you got to make your impact felt as the game goes on.
All right, 3 technicals for each team in the last game, plus the flagrant foul on Jayden Green on Draymond. If it's going to be physical, how do you keep the mental edge to play tough but not stupid?
I think the Warriors, they've been here before. They know what it takes to win in the postseason. And when you hear them say, we need to be more physical, I take that to mean that just meet their physicality. I think mentally they have the edge as long as they play physically the way they should.
Okay.
Well, you don't get fouls on the three-point line. So the way I see it, physicality shows up in setting better screens, being a better diving, getting downhill into the paint. That's how you're going to get the fouls. That's how you force the refs to call fouls for you.
Yeah. Okay, watch the mentals tonight. How do you be physical but also keep your head? Play the head games as well tonight. All right, be physical.
Be physical, crash the glass, win the battle with the points in the paint. We'll get to that a little bit later in the program here on Warriors Pregame Live. But DeMarcus Cousins, the boogeyman, who's a former member of the Golden State Warriors, he says, I think the refs are letting too much go. I enjoy the physicality of it, but there are some plays that got missed. That's DeMarcus Cousins on the Run It Back podcast, of course. And look, you could say Stephen Curry's been getting grabbed or whatnot, but I'm looking at the officials tonight. James Williams, a.k.a. Gucci Man, Kevin Scott, Curtis Blair. They have a tough task on their hands, and it's not just the Warriors and Rockets series, Zena. We've seen this throughout the playoffs so far. The physicality has been turned up a notch. And